The Operation New Blood mid-season patch just went live with Year 9 Season 2.3 designer's notes, so that's what we're going to be looking at here today. We're going to be looking at, some of these graphs, some of the balancing changes, going into detail pretty much of everything that's going on with this mid-season patch, which should be going live in just a few days here. Actually, a lot of really cool changes here, so we're going to take a look at the balancing matrix first. I opened it up in a new tab here, so obviously this is the win delta per operator versus presence. It's the graph they pretty much used during the whole lifetime of Siege. So on the y-axis here we have the win delta in percentage, and then on the x-axis we have the presence in percentage. So over here this is on ranked PC, platinum and above. Ashe getting picked in nearly 60% of the rounds. Her win delta is pretty high. I would not be surprised if that ACOG doesn't make it much longer, as much as it does suck. So kind of where you want to be, where they're hoping for all the operators to end up, is in this little cross section right here, where you see the X and the Y axis cross. And this is the console. Console's always a little bit different, but it's not really anything that stands out, nothing like too crazy. So again, Ashe, actually it's even more dramatic over here on console. Ashe is nearly picked in 70% of the rounds. Again, still a really high win delta, sense all the way down here. All of these operators here, actually you can see Striker right here. So that's their new operator, Striker. Okay, just about the same spot on PC. Actually is pretty drastically different here between console and PC. PC seems to be a lot more balanced, I think, and console is a little bit more sporadic, if that's the right word for it, I think. So you can see Monty is really successful in a lot of rounds that he is in. Surprisingly, Osa too. I wouldn't have really expected that. She doesn't get picked very often, but when she does, she wins a lot. Deimos 2, underpicked, too weak, only lasted a season. That's very interesting to me. Wouldn't be surprised if he got a buff here soon, try to make his longevity, a little bit more expanded, considering he's only been around for a season and he's already underpicked and too weak. So yeah, overall makes sense. Now we're going to take a look at the defenders. Same chart, the win delta per operator versus presence, just for the defenders here. So we're taking a look at PC, again, platinum and above. So wow, okay, Doc is chosen nearly 40% of the time, very high win delta. Look at Clash down here, that's actually crazy. So this is again PC, here's console. Wow, look how drastic that is. I don't know if there's ever been this drastic of a difference. So you can see Clash is much more successful in console. Look at this is crazy over here. So the ACOG meta, TDM meta on console, I think most people would tell you is much stronger on console compared to PC. So you got Melusi, Doc, Wamai. I think it all makes sense after you see today's patch notes, exactly why they did everything that they did. So now we're going to move on from these two charts and we're going to take a look at the operator ban rate. Let me open this in another tab as well. So this is for PC. We got Dokkaebi at the top, and then Jackal, Thatch, and so on and so forth. Deimos over here, which is very interesting. I'm not 100% sure why that is. Brava ban, I think, is something that's going to be seen a lot more often in the next, second half of this season into the next season. With utility and, some of the things we see today in these patch notes, which we're going to get to, I think it just makes Brava really strong. I think she's going to get banned a lot more often. And then console. Okay, so console, pretty much Dokkaebi and Jackal flip around. Go ahead and move on to the defenders over here. So on defense, we have Fenrir as our most banned operator, down to Mira and Clash. And then on console, Fenrir, Capcan, Mira. That's a little bit different. Capcan's only 10% on PC and 48% on console. Not 100% sure what could be causing that, but it just goes to show you how differently the gameplay, the play style is when you're switching from PC to console. Very different. Actually, Fenrir and Capcan are very close, surprisingly. Like, Capcan is only 9% behind Fenrir. Quite strange. Not really something I would have expected. So now we're going to get into some of the juicy stuff. We're past all of the graphs now, all the charts, I guess. We're going to look at some operator balancing. So first, we're going to start off with Azami. So obviously, Year 8 Season 4 came about the change where Kiba barriers could be shot now. They did not have to be exploded or meleeed. They could now be shot with bullet damage, and that's how they could be destroyed. So pretty much what they're doing with this Azami change here is that they are adding increased damage for pretty much all guns. So their main issue, as you can see, they reflected it with percentages. you could see that only 28% of the time were Kiba barriers destroyed with bullets. So obviously that means melee and explosives were both higher than the bullets. So they're going to try to increase that bullet percentage a little bit. And so with that, they are increasing the damages here. As you can see, increased damage received by handguns, revolvers, submachine guns, so on and so forth. Makes sense. They're going to try to, get a little bit more balanced usage between bullets and explosives. Next up, we have Buck. This one's a little bit interesting to me. So basically what they're saying here is that Buck's Gone 6 is overshadowing other operators who specialize in explosive capabilities. They're obviously referring to like Ash and Zofia here. I think this is an interesting move. This isn't something that I would have seen coming. They are removing the Gone 6 from Buck's loadout, which is just very strange to me. It seems almost unnecessary for them to be making this change, and granted, they say we feel that the Gone 6 is unnecessary for him to excel in this area. I don't know, it's just weird to me. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is probably the weirdest change of the whole entire patch notes for me. I don't know, I don't really think that Buck's Gone 6 is overshadowing Ash and Zofia, but maybe it is. I don't know, maybe I don't play Buck enough, I don't know. Now we have Echo. So basically they're changing him from a 2 armor 2 speed to a 3 armor 1 speed. So they're taking away some of that versatility he has, some of that movement he has, which doesn't change much, because if you're playing Echo the right way, you're probably just camping up somewhere and using your cameras. In my opinion, this isn't a massive nerf. However, he is being buffed at the same time, and they are adding magnified scopes to the MP5 SD. Now this is huge. Obviously, if you played Echo in the past, you're used to playing him with the ACOG, and that's been very different this past season. So having Echo with the ACOG back is going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to have that. Changes the playstyle a little bit, I think. And I think this is going to be good. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Like, this wasn't really something I would have seen coming. You have Echo. Where's Echo at? Echo is down here. I guess they're trying to get his pick rate up a little bit. It's just, out of all of these operators that are being picked so little, Echo wouldn't have really been the one that I thought that Ubisoft was going to try to do something to change. It's just, he kind of has always seemed like a bit of an irrelevant operator to me, which sucks because he's one of my favorites, but whatever. I mean, it's not a bad change. I think this is going to increase his pick rate for sure. I know that I will be playing him more as well. And yeah, moving on to Ella, this is something that no one saw coming. They are removing the observation blocker and adding impact grenades to Ella, just like the old days. Now this is kind of huge because Ella is a bona fide roamer, one of the best in the game, and to have impact grenades just, brings her up that much higher. And I mean, it's been literally over 5 years, I think. Yeah, it was in year 3 when they initially removed the grenades. It's been over 5 years since she has had her impact grenades. I think this could be huge. I think this is going to be great for the roamers of the game, and I think this is certainly going to increase her pick rate. Gridlock, nothing too crazy here. They're increasing the damage that her track stingers do from 10 HP to 15 HP per second. Now we're getting into the meats and potatoes of it, so this is probably what you guys are here for. Melusi and Wamai. They are removing the magnified scopes from both of these operators, and you can't complain. You know exactly why. This up here is actually ridiculous to have these 2 operators get picked this often. I mean, you knew that it wasn't going to last that long, and here we are, So, and then specifically on Melusi, they are increasing her Banshees from 3 to 4. They're also adding a secondary shotgun here. This is going to give her a little bit more versatility. I think this is going to be great. I think the trade-off from having the 2.5 removed to giving her 4 Banshees and a secondary shotgun is totally worth it. I think Melusi's only going to become stronger from this, but let me know what you guys think about that. The whole point of this is because Ubisoft doesn't like that people are picking this operator just for the 2.5 scope, if that makes sense. They don't like that, and I totally get that. They don't want this game to become the TDM meta that it is morphing into. And so they are now incentivizing people to pick this operator, not because of the scope on its gun, but because of its utility, because of its gadget. because of, you know, the secondary shotgun and the extra versatility you have and making rotate holes and things like that. It makes sense. Wamai, on the other hand, which is way too much of a run and gun, TDM, crazy, cracked player operator style, if you know what I mean. I know that's a lot of words, but if you play this game, you definitely know exactly what I'm talking about. Wamai had to take the magnified scopes away. Like, he was just way too good as he was this past season. So, you know, there's no balancing buff for Wamai like how Melusi got, just the nerf taking away 2.5. It makes sense. So yeah, that's the patch notes. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.